Hi guys. So for my activity, I interviewed an employee of the English Skills Learning Center. Her name is Rory Bluth, and so the English Skills Learning Center is an organization that helps refugees and immigrants with like a bunch of different things, kind of all encompassing. They help them learn life skills, learn job skills. They have citizenship classes, all sorts of things like that. And so Rory is the job readiness coordinator. And so I talked to her about what she specifically does for her job and who she works with, and just a little bit more about the program and how she thinks that we can best help immigrants and refugees just be integrated into the classroom, especially, and into society, I guess, also. So for her job, she helps people learn job skills like how to write a resume, how to answer interview questions, and also just things like what to do if you're sick, how to call your boss and tell them that you're not going to come in to work. And then just like she helps people with basic English and customs of the workplace, like safety rules, what they should report if they see in the workplace, what should be reported, so stuff like that. And she said that she works with about 50% immigrants, 50% refugees, but all of them are on the lower income, and so she doesn't deal a lot with those like trained professionals who are coming as immigrants that we read about in our reading for this week. Yeah, so one question that I asked her was, what is one of the hardest cultural things that you see immigrants dealing with? And she said that the hardest thing that she thinks people deals with is just like the unwritten rules of society that you have to learn through hard experience. There's things that we can explicitly say. It's like as a teacher, we can explicitly tell, we can explain things in our culture and how things work, but there's so many unwritten rules that we might not even think about, that people will just have to learn. And an example she gave me was that she's working with an Afghani family, and something that's been really hard for them is that they are really used to going to bed late and waking up late. And so that doesn't really work with our American work culture. So they used to be eating dinner at 10 o'clock at night, and now they've had to learn to do everything earlier and wake up earlier, and that's been something that's hard for them. And so one of the most important questions I asked her was, as a teacher, how best can I create an inviting space for students that come from a different culture than myself? And she gave me some really good advice. The first thing she said was to beware of the education gap. She said a lot of people that come aren't going to be up to par with their education, and teachers just need to be patient. And they need to realize that this education will come with time, but also the cultural lessons will come with time. And we need to be patient with them. She mentioned that in Utah that's really hard, the education gap, because people just assume that what is not known will just be taught at home, because they just assume that they have a good family life. But that's not always true. And then another important thing is that she talked about how a lot of refugees have experienced a lot of trauma, and that the trauma can be triggered by really small things, even just small words or something that we say. And a lot of times teachers misrepresent this as a behavioral problem and send them to like the principal's office, for example, or something, but really it's just them acting out because of the trauma they've experienced. So that's something that we need to be aware of as teachers. And so that was basically my experience. It was a great interview, and it was good to get to know her, and the program seems really awesome, like it's doing a lot of good in Utah.